About the ballot or the bullet. The ballot or the bullet explains itself. We have a fight that's common to all of us. We suffer political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging.
Yo. Good morning.
Hey. Top of the morning.
Top of the morning, Monday, March 17th, 2025. Fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning. My name is Paul B. He's Buddy the guy getting this chop together.
Yeah. Me. Gotta get the pipes ready.
Good morning. Welcome to a News Monday. Really appreciate everybody joining us this morning, coming on in early as well. And man, got lots to discuss today. I hope that your weekend went well. We're definitely going to talk about things that happened over the weekend, and we'd love to hear from you about how your weekend went.
Hey.
Mama God in first, saying good morning, First Sky fam. Good morning, Mama God. Appreciate you.
My Dukes. Top of the morning.
Man, Leia Keister gives us a happy, marvelous Monday. Thank you. Mark Manners up early. Said Monday already. Good morning.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, it came on us fast.
It did. This weekend flew by.
Amy H. dot in the chat. What's going on, Amy? So she says, good morning. Appreciate her. Maggie Miller Jenkins gives us a good morning. Pops from Las Vegas. Appreciate you, Pops. Good morning to you. Julie Printer says, it's Monday. Let's go. She ready.
Hey, okay. Her and her new hip. Ready to.
Raring to go, bro. That's what's happening, man. That's what I need. A little raring to go this morning for sure.
Yeah.
Sean McCarthy says, morning, everyone. Was great seeing Jasmine Harris in front of Tim Walsh crowd on Saturday.
Okay, yeah, I did see some clips. I think Senator Ashley Spivey was out there as well.
Yeah, man, that's what's up. I appreciate the report. That's what I want to hear about. All the events that happened over the weekend, what you guys did. Michelle Moreno says, good morning, happy Monday. Appreciate that. Good morning, First Sky. Pops. Heather Williams says, good morning, everyone. Marlon Harrison in the chat. Good morning, First Sky fan. What you got? Some forward leaf clovers over here?
Yeah, it was St. Patty's Day over the weekend, you know.
Okay. Anybody celebrate that?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
I didn't.
Hey, to each his own. Rosalind Blake is in the chat all the way from Vegas. What's going on? Monday morning. Appreciate you coming in.
Morning. Top of the morning to you.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's been kind of a short but long weekend. There was lots of stuff that went on. We'll definitely jump into talking about some of that stuff. And also, like I said, I want to hear from you about what it is that you did over the weekend, what meetings you made, what events you showed up to. Tim Walz was in town. That was a big one for a lot of people. Mayoral debate happened over the weekend again. So we'll talk about that.
Another
one. A few other things. But before we get to that, buddy, how you feeling this morning?
Man, I'm feeling good. Feeling rested. I don't know, man. It is pollen season, and down here in Atlanta, we get this thick yellow pollen that just covers and take over your it's thick. Take over your car.
It might kill me. I don't know.
Yeah, man. I don't have allergies, but I think yesterday I had the first like sinus allergy attack. Got this like acute, like tight, stinging feeling right here in this nostril, and then all this just was draining yesterday. So
welcome to my life,
man. Yeah, I was thinking about you the whole time. I'm like, okay, I see, Paul, he'll have dessert taking. Need some Claritin D. Need some Claritin.
I'll pop dessert taking a hot second.
Got it in the trench coat. You need some allergy medicine? I got you.
Dessert take got me, man. Dessert Mark Manor says today is St. Patrick's Day. They're already drinking down here in the old market.
Oh, man, already? Getting started early.
Say for a young black kid growing up in California, St. Patrick's Day was always like, hey, you want to go get in the fight? Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Is that
go crash a St. Patty's Day party?
Drink Guinness and then get in fisticuffs, huh?
There you go. Mark Manor says, I did the Omaha Film Festival all weekend. Saw 14 films, another solid event. Bro, I'm jealous, bro. I'm jealous.
Did the thing.
Jealous. That's usually my staycation. I didn't get to go to one event over Omaha Film Festival. So and I've been seeing people posting all about the stuff. Marcy Yates was in a film, his film debut.
Any standouts, Mark?
Let us know. Precious McKesson in the chat saying good morning, First Sky. Good morning to you. Brother Pena says good morning. Amy H. Dot says in the trench coat.
Yeah, next to the watches.
Oh my goodness. Oh man, yeah, appreciate it, man. We'll jump into some community news. We definitely had a bunch of stuff going on this weekend that we want to talk about for sure. Go ahead.
Really quickly, it's part of the community news. I'll wrap
Mhm.
it up. It is. I know you're not big on sports, but it is start of March Madness, and I want to
Hey,
get.
that's
I
great.
know. I want to give some hometown love though, man. Shout out to the Creighton Blue Jays. Shout out to the UNO Mavericks. Both they dancing. They dancing this March Madness. They're in the tournament. So yeah, shout out. I'm always happy to see the home teams, making the ESPN and just represent. So
Love that.
yeah,
That's what's up.
yeah.
Okay.
Shout
All
out.
right. All right. Tell if you guys got any March Madness predictions and stuff. I guess you can let us know about that too.
Oh yeah, bracket
Mhm.
busting, all that.
All that over the weekend, man. Union for Contemporary Art went off in a good way. There was a show. Now I lost the graphic. This show right here, we talked about it before last week. Phil Lilly's Little Black Girl memoir happened. Opening reception happened on the 14th, and from what I understand, it was a beautiful turnout. I was on a Friday night, and then Saturday, the next day, another really beautiful turnout for that exhibit for the people that didn't get there on Friday night. So, according to the reports, the union kind of went off, and this was a beautiful exhibit. It's going to be there till April
Hey.
19th, which is why we'll keep talking about it. You got plenty of chances to go see it while it's there. So definitely hit up the Union for Contemporary Art and check it out. Anybody in the chat, go to this. Let me know how it was a firsthand experience on this particular event here. I'd love to hear about. So yeah, let us know. And then of course we talked about the mayoral race that went down over the weekend too. I saw an article in Medium. Dewan Lamont Hayes is back writing. He had an opinion piece that he put out about what happened over the weekend with the mayoral race. A lot of stuff he said in that. I kind of agree with. He talks a lot about Miss Harris. Being such an even keeled, answers the questions. It's a
Yeah,
pleasure to
yeah.
listen to her speak, especially in the midst of like what goes down between McDonald and Stothard all the time. It's like a
Man,
yes, yeah. So she always feels like the adult in the room to me when I'm
just a
watching
real
this.
person. It's nice to talk to a real person, not somebody reading from a script.
Man, for real. Let us know. Let us know if you checked it out and what you thought of what happened as well. And that was definitely the thing. That woman is in the chat. What's happening, Miss Erica Phelps in the
Hey,
chat? So Leprechaun will play tricks on the children today, which is why I like today. Have a fantastic Monday, everyone.
okay.
All right. So during the child care sessions, a leprechaun's gonna come play tricks on the children. I bet you do
Okay.
enjoy that.
Jolly old time.
There you go. Anthony Rogers right in the chat talking about St. John's is a dangerous team for those bracket types. You guys are talking about sports again. Is that what
Yeah,
we're doing? Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, right on. Pop says, hey, March Madness is where I first saw Magic and Bird. It can be very cool.
Hey,
Man.
come on, man. The people that care. People care. Precious got a daughter going to Creighton. Come on, man. A little
Yeah.
hometown love.
I just haven't paid attention to it. I ain't knocking it. It's all good. It's all good. Also, Miss Erica felt in the chest says the show last night was something. Miss Harris shine though seems to be the
Okay.
consensus. That's what's up.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
good.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So good. Yeah. Let us know what else. What else did you go to over the weekend? Of course, we had the Omaha Film Festival that Mark just talked about, and there was a lot of people. I saw a lot of reports coming from this saying it was a good one. We have a very special thing here in Omaha with this Omaha Film Festival. I used to go to all the film festivals all around the country. There's only a few that are at the caliber that we're at.
Man.
I would say we're top 10 in local film festivals
Really?
in the country. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You know,
Okay. Man, that
yeah,
says a lot. There's some ones out there.
yeah, big time, man, big time. I really, I think they do a terrific job, and it's always entertaining. It's always good. And yeah, man, I'm really sorry I missed that. So I appreciate you guys that that went out and let us know about those things that was happening there. So yeah, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and move on. There's a lot of haps happening coming up that we're going to be talking about within the story. As a matter of fact, we can start with some of these key dates. Shout
Yeah.
out to Marianne William that put these out. These are going to be very, very important. These key dates coming up. This is the 17th, so we'll be looking at today, first day for requested early voting ballots to be mailed. First day of early voting at the Election Commission office. This is the season of the Battle of the Bullet. We talk about it all the time here. So this is the one coming up, and we'll put this in Friends of First Sky Omaha again so that you can see the rest of these dates that are happening. Yeah. And then, of course, the primary day, April 1st.
Man.
We'll be making some decisions. So hopefully we'll be able to speak to some more candidates, and you can kind of get to know people, and then, be able to make your decision for at least for the primaries, and then we can continue from there. But keep note of these dates. Shout out to the ACLU for putting this out. Shout out to Marianne Williams for posting it. 17th today, first day requested early voting ballots to be mailed. First day, yep, this is it. So yeah, definitely check this out and keep these dates in mind. Also, keep this date in mind: March 19th through the 21st. Man, Black Literacy Matters Conference is coming up.
Yes.
Yeah, this is gonna be awesome. As you can see, lots of people on the panel there. We'll put this in Friends of First Sky Omaha with some more information. We definitely think that even if you're not very interested in literacy in general as the subject, I think this is going to be a very inspiring, very good information filled event. And this will really help you if you don't have any trouble with it. It'll give you some tools to be able to help other people who do have some trouble with it. Because the more informed, more well-read, population and constituency and community will always help everything. So we definitely want to support the sister putting this on right here. This is happening March 19th through the 21st. We'll talk more about it as we go, and put it in Friends of First Sky Omaha so you can kind of dig in. So yeah, appreciate that very much. Also, something that's coming up that I saw on Sherman Wells' page, March 23rd, a fundraiser for Damone Avant.
Okay.
Don't know much about this. I just saw it, so I wanted to jump in there because anything that Brother Sherman Wells puts up,
we support.
We support, and it's for a good cause. So we'll put some more information on Friends of First Sky on this as well. But this is coming up March 23. Kind of mark your calendars for that. We'll do a little research on it and come back to you with it. Maybe even have Brother Wells on to talk about what's happening. But this is going to be at the Matoyer Center, 2525 North 37th Street on March 23rd from 12 to 5. A fundraiser. Join us for food, music, raffle, silent auction. They're going all out on this. So here's some ways to support. And this is for a brother who was diagnosed 2 years ago with early onset Alzheimer's and PTE, and it has progressed. He is currently under hospice care. It's got to be tough on a young person like that. Got to be tough on him, his family. So yeah, please get down with this and dig in and find out what's going on. Seek it out. Check in with Brother Sherman Wells if you need to, and let's get behind it.
Man.
Yep. Everybody's kind of going off. Precious says she loves March Madness. Okay, that's what's up.
Come on, man. I'm talking to the people. Man.
Doing my bracket this morning. I'm gonna let you talk to the people on there too, man. It's all y'all. All y'all. Miss Erica Phelps says the leprechaun comes and turns the milk green, leaves little green footprints, green cookies, and might turn the toilet water green.
Okay, that's interesting. Kind of Elf on the Show vibes.
Gonna trip all the kids out. That is so funny. Also, Judy Prinzer says, don't forget about the women, Huskers and Creighton. Okay, y'all are in here with this. That's what's up.
I'm telling you, man. We dancing.
Marlon Harrison says, Jasmine Harris and John Ewing really did an awesome job in the debate. My heart is torn between these two candidates.
Okay.
Appreciate your words on that one. Yeah. Very interesting. Also, Precious says, please come out and support on Sunday. We love Coach Avant. I can get the planner for you.
Okay. Yeah. More information. She says this is Trayvon Avant father. Trayvon is a trainee and boxer.
Oh wow.
Okay. Yeah, part of the Bud Crawford camp.
Shout out to my cousin Bo. Clarice Jackson in the camp saying, hey, good morning with some sunshine. Good morning to you. Precious also says Jessica Johnson is planning the fundraiser. Okay. So, yeah, thank you for that information.
Yeah. Talk to him.
Come across it ourselves, man. We were just talking about you, Miss Jackson, Black Literacy Matters Conference this week, Wednesday through Friday. You can see that she put a link in the chat, so definitely hit that link, get some more information about that. We'll definitely be talking about that amidst today's conversation.
Yeah, I was actually going to say, with that said, let's go ahead and dive into some of the headlines and tee up some of the conversation for the day. If that's all right.
with that. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
man. Yeah, because we'll definitely kind of be talking about that, Sister Jackson. So thank you again for pushing that. Again, the 19th, it goes down in a couple days. Look out for that Black Literacy Matters conference. And again, Black literacy does matter. We're all about the literacy here in First Sky Omaha. Again, still pushing. If you haven't heard it, check out that book drop podcast takeover with the Omaha Library. Because yeah, man, as they say, if you want to hide something from Black folk, put it in the book. Put it in the book.
Is that what they say?
That's what they say, man. We wasn't allowed to read. So, I understand it. But literacy does matter, not just for the history, but the present. Again, we talk about the preschool to prison pipeline on Friday, and we will continue that conversation. Again, thanks to our conversations with Dr. Ify Tunde, formerly known as Dr. Johnson, kind of tipping us off to the relation between literacy rates and low reading levels and the possibility of an individual going to prison. Again, if you're not at grade level by the third grade, if you're not at grade level reading level, then the chances of you going to prison goes up, which is why LB 149 is even more concerning. Again, if you don't know, LB 149, which will be actually have a hearing today, is a bill that looks to reverse some of the work that the likes of Brother Senator Terrell McKinney and shout out to Brother Leo Lewis have been fighting against. Again, this is a bill to clear the pathway to suspend pre-kindergarten to second graders. Again, you heard me, to suspend pre-kindergarten to second graders. So we'll talk about that bill, why this conversation and this fight is important, and pre kind of put it in the context of the larger conversation. LB 556 is going on. Again, they are also trying to detain 11 to 12-year-olds. So yeah, I hope you see these pieces being put together. And if not, we're going to lay it out for you on today's conversation. Also, I definitely want to dive into maybe touch on the conversation. Not sure how far we'll be able to get into it, but it's worth talking about this whole UNO investigation by the Trump Board of Education. Again, we've been, kind of watching, paying attention to what the Board of ED is doing. But this is maybe a tip off to their next move and maybe some other moves that we should be looking out for. Again, if you haven't heard, UNO is being investigated for quote unquote race-based admissions. So yeah, we're going to talk about education, race, preschool to prison pipeline, all of that today. Yeah, strap in. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. We'd definitely love to hear from you. In the meantime, between time, we're about 15 minutes, a little over 15 minutes into this thing. Paul B.
Yep.
Let's take you, man.
Let's take a little break and come back and jump into some conversation. Appreciate everybody that joined us today and is coming in for some good questions and conversation. Really appreciate you. First Guy Omaha in the morning. I'm Paul B. He's Buddy the Guy. Stay tuned, y'all. We'll be right back.
That we do not intend to play the role that the Jews play. They're a bunch of megalomaniac warmongers.
Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning. That's right. This is the Ballad of the Bullet Man, season 2B. It's going off right now. And of course, we want to remind everybody about these very important dates that are coming up. Today, March 17th, first day for requested early voting ballots to be mailed. First day of early voting at the Election Commission office. It's going down. Keep in mind, March 21st is going to be important. March 31st is going to be important. And of course, primary day, April 1st. We'll put this in Friends of First Sky for you to check out. And before we jump to the conversation, man, there was a couple more things that I was thinking, especially on this tip of literacy. We've been really, Buddy mentioned that we did the library takeover, the book drop this recently, and more talks with the library and doing some partnership with them on some things. I've really been thinking a lot about that. One of the things that came up was this job. They just put this out early bird by April 2nd. There's a job posting, 58,000 to 73,000. This is an entry level professional library job. So definitely check into this if you're looking for it, but definitely get down with the library team and the family over there if you can. Omaha Public Library is going to be setting some standards for a lot of libraries in the country in a big way. And especially in the midst of what's going on with Trump. I went to one of the friends' pages and Trump signs executive order cutting Institute of Museum and Library Services.
Man.
In the midst of needing more staff and personnel and jobs opening up, there's an attack on this as well. So this is something I'll put in Friends of First Sky Omaha right here. They're saying, hey, let you take a look at the full executive order and also directing you to kind of stand up here with American Liberty Library Association to fight this. So, man, literacy just really, I mean, like seriously, like we're going to be burning books pretty soon. It's there.
Hey, if you don't have a library in your home, please start building one. Please start building one. Yeah. If it's not a full room library, at least a shelf with a couple of things that might tickle your fancy. Because, even stuff that might not tickle your fancy, you need to broaden your horizons, especially in this climate.
There you go. Mash Miller Jenkins in the chat saying that Pillen being formally tied to the university doesn't bode well for them. Talking about that UNO situation that we were talking about. Definitely got to talk about it in the real sense. Also, shout out to Celeste Butler, One Love fan. Appreciate you coming on through.
Okay,
buddy, you want to jump into this subject?
Man, yeah, there's a bunch of points kind of swirling around through my mind, but yeah, I'm even thinking about like St. Patrick's Day and what that really is, but we're not going
down that rabbit hole.
We only got an hour, Paul. We only got an hour. So yeah, I want to stick to the conversation, man. Shout out again to Sister Clarice Jackson pushing the Black Literacy Matters. We can start with that. That goes off in 2 days. If you haven't registered for that, please make sure you do that because Black literacy does matter, man. Black literacy does matter, and there's a more of a conversation to be had about this, especially in light of some of the bills and just some of the fights that are happening in the Capitol in Lincoln. And I will preface this by saying, if you remember conversations we were having last season with Senator Wayne, who kind of, tipped us off to the fight that's really brewing. If you haven't really heard it or haven't really paid attention in the Capitol and the Senate and the legislature this year, is quietly a fight about youth and youth juvenile and what's going to happen with our youth. And again, a lot of bills are shaping their future for better or for worse. And I'm starting with this conversation about literacy because there is a hearing today for LB 149, which deals with the suspension of preschool, pre-kindergarten, all the way through second graders. And, on the surface, if you're not aware of some of these issues, then you might miss it. But again, you have to know that there is a race undertone to this conversation. Shout out to the likes of Brother Leo Lewis. Shout out to the likes of Brother Sharif Luwaru, who lost his job behind this whole conversation, behind this whole saga, behind this whole situation. Several years ago, for those of you who don't remember, allow me to refresh your memory. Paul and I were two young lads trying to run a radio station at the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation. Brother Sharif Luwaru was ahead of the foundation at that moment, and Brother Leo Lewis was also working at the foundation. And so we were able to see this whole thing play out firsthand. And it started with OPS, again, broadcasting and releasing their own data. Again, OPS themselves releasing their own data, showing that young Black boys, as young as second grade, 9 years old. Remember that number, 9 years old. As young as 9 years old, being suspended at a disproportionate rate. Young Black boys being suspended from OPS at a disproportionate rate. And this is OPS saying this themselves. So Brother Leo Lewis, again, called the parents, called the university, or called the school, and tried to organize to address this issue. Brother Sharif Luwaru, who at the time was responsible, he had the job of kind of liaisoning, if I could say that, between the school and parents and the community, and making sure that those types of conversations happen in an official capacity and are supported. And he did that. He again opened the pathway for there to be a meeting at Omaha North Viking Center, which led to him getting the boot. He got fired from OPS and could not find another job and had to leave the community. Again, if you know anything about Brother Sharif Lawaru, he was a pillar. He was, man, somebody very important and very active. Again, he was the head of the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation at the time. Very
years.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And his man, rest in peace to his son. You know, the apple wasn't falling far from the tree. So
he was among that first wave of the DEI positions. The when they put those positions in there in the first place, and then they said, "Hey, yeah, come in here and help us with our diversity in this place." But they didn't even know what they were doing. They were hiring folks, and it turned out to be very performative. And the first time he really tried to do his job, he got fired for it. So
there you go.
Yeah,
there you go. And that led to, again, shout out to Senator Terrell McKinney, who was, a candidate at the time. But eventually, as we all know, he got into office and passed a bill to help with the suspension of our young black boys at a disproportionate rate, because that is what was happening. And yet here we are. LB 149 is trying to reverse all of that.
And today's the day. This hearing is today, and we highly encourage, of course, on this show for you to go down. And let me see if there's a time. What's the time for it? It is I can't see where the time is.
Here, let's see if I can get that information.
Yeah, let's see if we can get the information on that, because you might have an opportunity to go down today and testify against this. We have figured out from talking to the senators and just from talking to all of you, that going down in person and speaking on this from your own experience is the best way to oppose or support the bill. So this is one that I think is pretty easy for us to, according to all the conversations that we have, eliminate the prohibition on suspending a student in pre-kindergarten through second grade. Yeah, that's probably it's something we need to jump on. So if you've already are in the vein of going down to the legislature, I know a lot of people have been going regularly now. They kind of go down and show up and speak or oppose. This might be something to do right here. Did you get that information there, buddy?
No, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing what time, but I do know it's today.
Yeah, if anybody has any information on what time that's going down, please let us know. We appreciate that very much. Also in the chat, I'm seeing some people chime up. I appreciate it. Marlon Harrison says, when literacy is in danger when white folks come after other white folks. He says, Indiana is cutting ties with Dolly Parton's book program, saying it's too progressive and too liberal.
Man,
wild. Major Miller Jenkins is saying we should also be talking about Columbia student Mahmoud Khalil, who was illegally removed by ICE and being illegally held for protesting for Palestine.
Okay.
There's a lot of deportations and things that are going on right now too to definitely talk about. Appreciate that. Definitely. Oh, Precious says 1:30. Matthew Miller Jenkins saying 1:30. So I figured it was 1:30 like it usually is, but I wasn't seeing it on the bill there. But yeah, if you happen to be able to go down and be a part of the testimony here, it's going to be 1:30 out in Lincoln today. Today is the hearing. So,
man,
tough time.
And again, yeah, very tough, very, very tough. And to just kind of push the conversation forward, because it doesn't just stop there. It's not just about kids getting suspended. That starts a very slippery slope that lends itself to the preschool to prison pipeline, right, which is the bigger conversation that we're having. Again, shout out to Dr. Ifa Tunde, formerly known as Dr. Johnson.
Still known as Dr. Umar.
Thank you. But yeah, again, we had the conversation with him and he tipped us off, and I've seen that supported since that conversation, as far as again, third grade. And look at this bill 149. It's suspension between pre-kindergarten to second grade. So if by second grade your child is being suspended, building a record, and then by the time they get to the third grade, maybe because they spent a lot of time suspended, their reading level might be lacking, which statistics show that you're more likely to go to prison. And how does that work? Let me, maybe I'm preaching to the choir, but let's just go through the exercise. If you can't read, you can't comprehend. If you can't comprehend, You can't really problem solve. If you can't really problem solve, when problems arise, you're more likely to act out. And as we know, statistics show for young black boys, any sign of quote unquote acting out is frowned upon.
It's viewed as criminal.
It's viewed as criminal. Thank you. Check out the 13 documentary if you need more information on that.
Yeah.
And again, we're talking about third grade. 9 years. My son is in the third grade. He's 9 years old. You know what else they're trying to make happen at 9 years old? You can go to jail.
Yeah, they're trying to detain 9-year-olds and process 12-year-olds as adults. Rough. Brother Pena in the chat, I want to give him a moment here because this is something that is also part of this thing. We talk about the preschool to prison pipeline, especially for young black kids, young Mexican kids as well, young brown kids. It's a very emotional thing for me as as a second language speaker. They seem to think you're dumb, saying did misunderstand immigrant children, so we're always suspended, or they don't understand our ways or culture. Sounds familiar.
Sounds very familiar. And,
right.
We might not speak Spanish, but Ebonics is a second language. It's a different language.
There you go. Brother Pena said he's going to go down, so I appreciate you showing up today at 1:30 and speaking on this. So appreciate that very much. Yeah. Gwen Easter gives us a good morning as well. Appreciate you coming in. Anthony Rogers Wright is speaking with Brother Pena. He's also said transgender students are a lot of danger right now. Their suicide attempt rates are up 70%. That's not cool and unacceptable. Lots of groups that this is really kind of targeting, and I see that a lot. We pay a lot of attention to young black boys. They seem to get the brunt of what's going on, especially when they're young, and we all know when they're trying to pass bills, detaining 9-year-olds. They're thinking about all these little wild black children out here killing people. That's on their minds, and we gotta stop them in their tracks. Real ridiculous. Precious is giving us some more information there. Hearing is in room 1525. Appreciate that information. Again, 1:30 down at the Capitol. So yeah, appreciate that very much, and appreciate you, Brother Pena, for saying you want to get down and go testify there. So yeah, lots to think about with that, and I love the way that you're wrapping that all together, buddy. It's crucial. It's real deal.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't see the pieces, they're coming together. So, with this microphone in my face, if I see it, then I kind of have to say something. I have to say something.
Yeah.
Because the game is being played. The game is being played with our children.
It's rough. 7:32 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we're going to take a quick break and we'll come back and jump into some more of this conversation. Thank you so much for everybody joining us and giving us this information and doing the research with us and jumping in and trying to inspire folks to get going. If you can, if you happen to not have to work today and you can get down to the Capitol again, this is something that needs to happen, and it needs to happen today. This today is the hearing. So yeah, man. Room 1525 down at the Capitol, 1:30. Yeah. Definitely gotta check it out. We'll take a quick break and come right back. Stay tuned. First Sky Omaha in the morning. I'll be buddy to God.
Hey.
Stay tuned.
Lead poisoning in children under 7 is scary, but it's also 100% preventable. Not only can lead be found in paint and soil, it can be found in many common spices, certain baby foods, and brought home from job sites. Children with lead poisoning might not show any symptoms until their levels are dangerously high. So ask your healthcare provider for a lead test for your child. You can help prevent lead poisoning in children. Brought to you by Douglas County Health.
Yep. Shout out to Douglas County Health Department. Yeah. Interesting. Kind of goes along with what we're talking about right now a little bit.
Hello, you doing the knowledge? You doing the knowledge? I hope y'all see it, man. It's a sick game. It really is a sick game when you really think about it. Like they redline you, create these housing covenants, so you have no choice but to go into the area where that's full with lead, aging pipes, coal hanging over you. Got coal hanging over you. You got lead under you. Come on, man. They know that it impacts your behavioral development. And then on top of that, they create laws. So when you do behave in the way that the environment is causing you to behave, you're punished. And again, look at these ages we're talking about. Look at the commercial. Lead poisoning before what? 7 years old.
Crucial times. Definitely crucial times. Again, LB 149. There you go, Brother Pena. Appreciate it. Anybody else can get down there? Probably is a good idea to do that. 1:30 will be the hearing. And again, thanks to Precious, we know that the hearing is in room 1525. Appreciate it very much. Yeah, this is the opportunity, man. You know, we're discussing it. And if anybody has any questions, then as you can see, we got people in the chat that can answer those questions. We can help answer some of those questions as well. And all of that is to get on the same page and get into action mode and try to do something about it. So
exactly, it's not all doom and gloom. Like the point of having this conversation is tip you off to the bigger picture, the game being played in front of our eyes, under our nose, and also inform you about what you can do about it. You see it in the chat. There's bills to support. There's laws that can combat this. Pass the Nebraska Environmental Rights Act or amendment. Thank you, Brother Anthony Rogers is right. Go down, support LB 149. And if you can't, write a letter, make a phone call. It's better than nothing.
So true. So true. Before we get moving again, just want to keep on reminding people about these very key dates that are coming up today, March 17th. It's also a first day for our requested. It is March 17th, right? Yeah. First day for requested early voting ballots to be mailed. You know, I don't have any concept of time.
Yeah, man.
First day of early voting at the Election Commission office. Of course, we're talking about the very important date of April 1st, the primary. Shout out to ACLU for putting this out. Shout out to Marianne Williams for posting it. And definitely put this somewhere where you can kind of keep these dates in mind because, yeah, man, Ballot of the Bullet. It is the season.
Hey,
it's the season.
Don't be a fool. Go vote on April 1st.
Yeah. Marlon Harris in the chat says, while I don't like suspending kids, what do you in severe situations like kids physically hurting each other, other people, kids doing dangerous things? In those moments, we have to suspend kids. This is somebody working in the school industry. Saying, what do you do? It's a really good question.
It is. What you do? Support families. We got that bill from Senator McKinney. We got that bill from Senator McKinney. Come on, man. We ain't just talking about problems. Talking about solutions.
Man,
we ain't just talking about problems.
You don't want no problems with me.
Hey, what they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing.
They ain't talking about nothing. It's going down. Priority bill notice. Shout out to Senator McKinney, man. We're going to talk about this when we have him on next Monday. LB 48 establish a family resource and juvenile assessment pilot program.
Come on, man.
Yeah, the brother knows. The brother's doing. He's on top of this.
Come on, man. When they acting out, we'll treat. That's the issue. That's the issue. Thank you for asking that question, Brother Marlon, because that's the point. That's the point. If you can't read, you can't comprehend. If you can't comprehend, you can't problem solve. So you're going to do that. You're going to act out. But should you be treated as a criminal or just a kid that's struggling? Because kids aren't bad. They're responding to situations that they have no control over. Come on, man. It's not rocket science. I'm not a psychologist. I got kids, though, and I observe. I was a child. Come on, man. It's not hard.
There you go. Pops in the chat. And what gets me is I got a jagged piece of lead in my eye playing in my yard on North 25th Street 70 years ago. And they still haven't gotten it out of the neighborhoods. I'm glad they're moving it on it now. Wow. Yeah. This just goes to show you, man, it's been going on for quite some time. All of it's been going on for quite some time. But again, shout out to Senator McKinney looking for some solutions. this priority bill notice that he's put out on his page. He talks a little bit about what's going on. He talks about what the bill does. It establishes a 5-year pilot program creating family resources and juvenile assessment centers in the metro areas across Nebraska. These centers will operate 24/7 and provide comprehensive, culturally relevant support services for youth and families. This is the key phrase for me, not just for youth, but youth and families at risk of entering the juvenile justice system. Key features include assessment and intervention services tailored to family dynamics, mental health, substance abuse, and educational challenges. 2, collaboration with grassroots organizations and community stakeholders to deliver culturally sensitive services. Love that phrase. And number 3, ongoing support and follow-ups to ensure sustained engagement and positive outcomes.
Man,
for the people. Love it. Potential impact. The program is expected to reduce juvenile justice system involvement by offering community-based alternatives to detention and prioritizing educational, mental health, and vocational training. The centers aim to decrease recidivism rates and the long-term cost of incarceration, empower families. This is the key for me.
Empower families.
Families need support. Empower families with tools for conflict resolution and economic stability. Strengthen community ties and create pathways for sustainable development. With annual evaluations and up to $500K allocated per center, the program seeks to create scalable models for broader implementation.
Conflict resolution.
Brother Harrison, you're coming right in with it. You're coming right in with it because that's the next question. Your senator is laying out some stuff that can be turned into law. Why it's needed? LB 48 addresses significant gaps in Nebraska's juvenile justice system by focusing on prevention rather than punishment.
There you go.
Prevention. Stuff happens in school. You're absolutely right. Stuff happens. But what if there was a way to prevent most of it?
Right. Because everything you just I've been in fights. We've all been in a fight in school. Come on, man. But this is the thing. If we allow the systems and the perspectives to label our kids as bad children and treat them as such, then they start to act as such.
Yeah, for sure. Marlon Harris in the chat says, I told one of my kids to sign up to a boxing gym to get all his anger and frustrations out. Very good idea.
Man,
I love that. Tony Johnson in the chat says, Marlon is talking to Brother Harrison saying OPS needs to readjust their administrator roles in the schools. Many I talk to who job is around discipline have many other duties and sometimes are working several schools at the same time. That's interesting.
Sounds familiar. Sounds like
Kessler Hagen in the chat says we pay the parents a decent wage so they can be home with the children. That's a solution. If I ever heard one. Man, Gwen Easter in the chat says, I remember about 5 years ago, the city told residents that we would get new windows, but we would need to pay hundreds of dollars to be accepted. I sent my $100 and never received any windows and never received my money back. I later found out only a few received windows. I don't know what city did with the grant money. I'm not sure which story you're talking about there, but it sounds like we all know that Miss Gwen Easter is in the child care industry and takes care of these babies. And is often going after resources and be able to stay open and give the babies what they need there. So I'm thinking that you're talking about a window situation that you were supposed to get there to help your facility. It's incredible how the lack of support that we get for the kids.
Could be doing with lead too. Not sure.
Oh, lead too. Yeah, could be. Yeah. The windows. Yeah, paint in the lead, like the lead windows and all that. Yeah. The lack of support and it's so important for somebody like Miss Easter because of the fact that they, she is in the child care industry, taking care of kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's really rough. It's really incredible to me about the lack of support that families get. Families and kids and families.
Yeah,
which I think is the key. So,
talking about the suspension situation, what happens when a child is suspended? They got to stay home. And if we're talking about preschool to second grade, they can't stay home by themselves. So what does that mean? Parents got to miss work, which means they making less money. Come on, man, it's a slippery slope. I don't see why suspending. I don't see why this is a good idea.
Right. It's not. And we're saying that now because and we got an example of a brother who's putting some things together. This priority bill is from what we just read, seems like it's laying out resources, not just financial resources, but also physical resources, spaces that people can go to
Yeah,
and get some help. Uh,
mental.
yeah, man. See, it's kind of laying it out. It's kind of laying it out. I love the way that Senator McKinney does this kind of stuff. He's laying out all aspects. It's not just like come up with a good idea. Let's pass a bill like this. Like he does the research. It's very comprehensive. Can't wait to talk to him about this when we have him on Senator Cypher next week.
Check it out.
Yeah, man, we got to. But I love that this is a solution. Let us know. I want to hear from you in the chat whether or not you feel like these are the things that Senator McKinney is laying out are solutions. Does this give you some hope like it gives me? Does it make me? Does it feel like you're in the fight now? Does it feel like you have some tools to battle? We got to get behind him on this priority bill in order
Yeah.
for it to go.
And again, it's a priority. This is he going for the gusto on this one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there we are.
With that. 7:45 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we'll take one last quick break and then we'll come back and finish out the conversation today. Again, this is a Monday, March 17th already, man. Well into the month. Before we know it, it's going to be the month will be over. We back at the first paying that rent again. Like yeah, man. Yeah.
Take it easy, my back.
I forgot to mention a little earlier today during the show, in the beginning of the show though. 82 degrees is supposed to get today.
Really? It's gonna snow tomorrow?
Yep. Well, slow your roll. Don't get too happy. Snow's coming on Wednesday, they say. So it is what it is.
Oh man.
But yeah, man, you got to minute by minute, day by day. Enjoy what you got. Stay tuned.
That's concerning.
Concerning. You grew up here. What you talking about? We'll be right back, y'all. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
All
B, buddy to God. How are y'all doing?
Yeah. Chat's going off, but yeah. How's your Monday morning going?
Mark, listen, bro.
Man, I grew up in Omaha, but it wasn't like that. I don't remember it being 80 and then blizzard, then 80, then blizzard, then 80, and like it was.
That's all I experienced here is getting happy during springtime and thinking it's all over with. Nope. Right back on you. Like the police.
Think again. On your neck.
Yeah, man. Tough. We were just talking about what happens when kids get suspended. Brother Peeny in the chat says it's a slippery slope when your child doesn't go to school. Guess who gets in trouble? The parent. Well,
yeah.
That's my question about that too. Why is it that there's some things that the parents can get in trouble for when the kid does, but other things they're gonna put it on the kid? I don't quite. This is something that I've always wondered about. I don't know. If your 12-year-old goes and tries to buy some liquor from somewhere and goes home and gets drunk, you in trouble as the parent. But they want to try him as an adult in other situations. I don't. How are families involved? How can families get some support? How are we talking about this without talking about families? How are we talking about 9-year-olds, but no mention of the parents? Like 9-year-olds are absolutely represented by their parents at 9 years old. Like how are they not in the conversation? The only people that I see talking about families and family support are people who are looking for solutions, like Senator McKinney. Family support.
Seems like a revolutionary idea, I guess. Seems common sense to me, but hey.
What say you? 7:49 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, again, we appreciate everybody joining us today and jumping in and giving us some good comments, good
Yeah.
discussion on all these subjects. Again, don't forget about this Black Literacy Matters conference. I highly encourage everybody to hit it.
March 19th.
Yep, it's coming up 2 days. In 2 days, it'll be here.
Is that Wednesday?
Wednesday the 19th. Yep, Wednesday the 19th to the 21st. So yeah, man, it's gonna be quite a few inspiring filled days, man. Lots of speakers coming. Big conference. This is gonna be where's this at? Is that UNO?
Yeah, I believe it's at UNO. Actually, speaking of UNO, yeah. Let's go ahead and get into that in this last kind of 10 minutes before we get out of here, because I do want to touch on this one. Because it's kind of interesting. It's a little, the more you read into it, it's like, it's a couple things to pull out of this. If you haven't heard, this coming out of Nebraska Examiner. UNO is being investigated by the Trump Education Department for quote unquote race exclusionary practices. Again, investigated for race exclusionary practices. And
what race is getting excluded?
That's my question. That was my first question. Like, what are we talking about? Who's been excluded and at what rate? What's really going on? But again, the more you read into this, yeah, I think this is something that we should look out for and prepare for, especially when, developing bills that address issues that are unique to certain demographics. If you get what I'm saying. Let's just read into it. Again, this is coming out of Nebraska Examiner. The University of Nebraska at Omaha is being investigated by the U.S. Department of Education for quote unquote race exclusionary practices in its graduate programs, according to the agency, who made an announcement on Friday. The Education Department's memo accuses UNO and 44 other universities of race exclusionary practices, including 7 other colleges and universities who are being investigated for quote unquote alleged impermissible race-based scholarships and race-based segregation. Friday's announcement comes after last month's department memo said schools and universities could lose federal funding over quote unquote race-based preferences in admission, scholarships, or other areas of student life. This is kind of coming on the heels or on the back of a PhD program, again, which the federal agency is alleging violates Title VI by partnering with the PhD project because the nonprofit, quote unquote, limits eligibility based on the race of participants. And again, so to your question, Paul, what race, what are we really talking about? So I had to look at this PhD project. What is this? Apparently, the PhD project was founded in 1994 with the goal of creating more role models in the front of business classrooms. They seek to diversify PhD programs. PhD project members are in leadership roles at their institutions. It says 90% of members complete their businesses PhD compared to the national average. So again, it is a program that helps people of color.
So the races that are being left out are white people is what they're saying. Basically, they're trying to put into laws reverse racism argument.
Yep. And
so
then
they take away affirmative action, but that's not enough. Now we're going to investigate you because you left the white people out.
Yep.
Okay.
And again, it's not just that. Kind of looking into it, the organization actually is backed by something called the KPMG Foundation, which is a Canada-based nonprofit.
Okay. Looks like somebody have to dig into that one a little bit.
Yeah. So, again, I'm kind of pulling out of it. There's the Canada politics going on behind this, but more so the reverse racism legislation. Yeah, that's something to look out for, because this is a conversation and a question that I asked Senator Ashley Spivey when she came on to the last Senator Cipher on Monday, as far as, her representing a diverse district. Her constituency is diverse, not only, across race lines, but also economic lines, from farmers to, millionaire farmers to everyday worker. How do you draft legislation that corrects race-based mistakes like redlining or these race-based home covenants. Shout out to Baby Boy Bolin for kind of doing the research on that. You know, again, if you don't know, a lot of the Dundee and, you know, a lot of these houses still have race-based covenants on it to where the owner can't really sell to a black person.
That's wild.
It is wild, and that's still going on today. And how do you draft legislation that addresses these ailments and these ills in society with this going on?
That's a good question. While you contemplate that, I'm gonna jump into the chat. Very good comments and points here. Wanda Lewis is saying the early childhood education program is really for working parents. You can't bring them before 8:30 a.m. and you have to pick them up by 3:30 p.m. Don't really fit most average working schedules.
Nope.
If you're working at some point, you will still need to involve additional childcare. Some programs are designed to keep you where you are. We just experienced this personally with the family and trying to work out what's going to happen before and after school and so on and so forth. Very true. I always thought that weird lineup. And this is for people that work at OPS. They can't even really go pick up their own kids on time a lot of times because of that. Cheryl Weston in the chat, good morning, saying black boys represent 19% of male preschool enrollment, but 45% of preschool male suspensions. Black girls represent 20% of female preschool enrollment, but 54% of preschool female suspensions.
What they say about numbers not lying.
I love it. Yeah, send me your sources on that. I would love to read a little bit more on that, on those things as well. Also, Sean McCarthy in the chat says the Department of Education cuts 2,000 jobs, but apparently they have the staff to do this.
Man,
Carolyn Jack in the chat, good morning, says more reverse discrimination garbage. Can you believe it was already garbage when it was being talked about in the first place and debunked with one or two sentences? And but now, powers that be trying to make it into law, which I think is really interesting. The narrative, we talk about the master narrative.
man,
As much as we try to fight the master narrative, they're always going to try to come with something else, and it's wild to me. It's wild. So we're going to investigate you because you have a program that favors people of color, which means you're leaving the white people out. Really, the whole institution is not there for the white people in the first place, right?
Yeah, there's a thing called a PWI. They're called PWI, predominantly white institutions. Like, how's that? It's not enough.
It's really kind of weird.
It's sick. It's sick. It's a mental illness is what it is. And calling it anything less, you're playing yourself. Yeah. It's a mental illness.
Shout out to Barbara Whites. I just went somewhere where I heard her talking about the fight. She's in UNO as what's her
Regent?
Regent, and is feeling like she'd be in there fighting by herself, man. But you know what I'm saying? Like we have to kind of watch out for institutions. We got people that we know that are going to UNO. UNO is right in town, and the Trump nonsense is being brought here with this. And he's finding support in some of the areas inside of the organization. So yeah, rough one. Definitely time to speak out on that. Before we get out of here, I just want to give a shout out to the Swing Left Nebraska. They have a podcast that they put out. This is their 10th week. During the legislature, kind of following along with the legislature, man, unpacking the unicameral. If you want to learn more about our very unique situation here with the unicameral, this is it. We talk a lot about what's going on in the legislature here. You can also hear Senator Terrell McKinney and Senator Ashley Spivey on the Senator Cipher talk a lot about it as well. But to get some more information and just to understand what's working and how it works and how where the fight lies, definitely. Oh, that's the wrong one. My bad. Definitely check out Unpacking the Unicameral. Like I said, they're in week 10. Man, shout out to the people putting this on for sure. Swing Left Nebraska gets down wherever you find your podcast. And speaking of podcasts, definitely check out the Takeover if you haven't done that.
Man.
Yeah, man, we're really happy about this partnership here with the library. Omaha Public Library gets down. We took over their podcast, the book drop one week, and everybody is still to this day is giving me good feedback on this. They're checking out some of the books that we talked about on here and checking out some of the movies we requested.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Yes,
It's a great conversation. It's a great conversation. If you haven't, even if you have heard it, go back, check it out. You might have missed something the first time.
There you go. Sue Kessler Hagen in the chat saying white people have the most fragile egos around.
Man, I want to comment to that, man. When you lying and cheating and stealing your way to the top and you're getting things on, unhonest, you building a castle on sand. You know it.
Yeah. And it makes you very suspicious of
Paranoid
around you all the time too. Right.
Which again, going to our conversation in the book drop is why I said race helps nobody. Whiteness is a prison. You're trying to uphold an illusion. Come on, man. Stop it. Just stop it.
Ron Harrison says people forget affirmative actions and DEI at the college level not only affects Black, Hispanic, and Indigenous people, but also veterans and people with different socioeconomic backgrounds, people with disabilities, women, everybody, man, everybody. But they know that. This isn't not new to them. These people trying to pass these policies know that the administration knows that,
man,
and that's what it is.
In the words of DJ Khaled, you played yourself. Congratulations.
Congratulations, you played yourself. My favorite line. Congratulations, you played yourself. My other favorite line is Prince saying, "You can't play me. When you play me, you play yourself."
All right. Good job.
We're going to get out of here. Appreciate everybody that joined us today. Join us Wednesday. We have special guests coming on. Lots of activity going on this week. Again, don't forget those very important dates that are happening today, March 17th, first day for requested early voting ballots to be mailed. First day of early voting at the Election Commission office. You can go down to commission office as of today to vote in the primaries. But make sure you know who you're voting for. Pay attention.
Yes.
Pay attention this next few days on who's saying what, especially in District 2. We need a little bit more time in order to kind of work through it. We got 9 candidates. So, do your due diligence. And then remember, April 1st is primary day. Definitely get down.
Don't be a fool.
That's right. We'll talk about it more this week. But you got some last words for the people?
Yeah, I do want to comment to that March 21st date. Again, reminding folks that it is now legal for formerly incarcerated brothers and sisters to vote. They got that right. So again, make sure we're reminding folks, because this is really the first election that they can take full advantage of. There's some controversy. They were kicking the can down the road, trying to delay things last election, but now still got 21 days to go register. 21 days, or not 21 days, but until the 21st, to go register. You got until the 21st. It's about 4 more days to go register.
Yep.
Do it.
Got to get down. Pop says, great show. See you all on Wednesday. Wanda Lewis says, when you work for the system or institution that you steal from, you only get probation and pay restitution if you're the right complexion. Interesting. Gwen Easter is also leaving us with one more thing. Don't forget they are offering free daycare at Educare, Highlander, Kennedy Daycare, and use the school's database to find parents have children so they can recruit them to the school's partnership daycares. The city HUD moved out of over 300 families from Spencer that also affected my business and other daycares in the area. Some of the parents were our clients and potential clients.
Oh yeah, I mean, and peep the. We'll talk about the housing thing, but peep the new redlining. You do know that most of West Omaha is built on top of former trash dumps, right? We do know that most of West Omaha, where a lot of these people, a lot of these Section 8 housing, and a lot of North Omaha is getting pushed out to, is built on trash dumps. Under a lot of that soil is trash.
Appreciate your comment there, Miss Easter. There is a lot to be talking about with this the child care situation in a big way. As a matter of fact, I heard a report today on the marketplace show talking about whether or not the employer should be paying for child care, what that looks like, some of the programs they got going on. They know this is a big problem, but I like what was said earlier in the chat. Why not pay a living wage so that if you decide you want to stay home with your children, you can. We'll talk more about it when we come back again. It's 8:04 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we appreciate you letting us go a little bit over our agreed upon time to stop, but very good conversations, very, very spirited conversations, and we'll continue these conversations Wednesday. Really appreciate you very, very much. Shout out to the Umaha Tribe Elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before you. And shout out to you, the chat chimers, allowing us to speak with you on these subjects. Find solutions, ask the right questions, and first and foremost, last but not least, act.
Man.
In a big way. Do not forget that this hearing is going on today, LB 149. We already talked about where it's going to be. It's going to be at 1:30. I forgot what room that
I believe 1525. I believe
Precious said. Yeah, I'm not sure, so I don't want to give him the wrong room.
Right.
But yeah, please go back and check that out, and you can always hit Precious. She'll let you know what's going on. And also, if you find out on your own, let us know. Put it in Friends of First Sky Omaha. We appreciate everybody who does that. With that said, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you. We'll see you Wednesday. Tune in. Special guest coming. And yeah, take care of yourselves. Enjoy the day. Peace.
By the way, Vanguard. This is protected by the red